Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, October 21st. Initial jobless claims will be out here before the bell. Also, the Philly Fed manufacturing and some leading indicators come in this morning, existing home sales, and of course, the natural gas report. All of that kind of weighing in. And why am I mentioning some of those other things we don't maybe necessarily pay attention to? Or I shouldn't say we don't pay attention to. I don't normally mention them in the watch list. It is because these gas reports are starting to actually affect us a little bit more, especially with inflation, energy on the rise, the cost of energy on the rise. We're coming into the winter cold weather period, and these things really they start to hit the individual pocketbook, right? Existing home sales, we're looking to see if we are slowing down with the interest rates actually kind of ticking up a little bit on those mortgage and refi rates. They've ticked up a little bit over the last month, and we want to see if those existing home sales are holding in. Are we starting to cool off? And of course, manufacturing, things like that we always kind of talk about. But initial claims, right? We want to see, are we getting people back to work, or are they continuing to stay on state aid, federal aid? Okay, so we have all that kind of baking in this morning. We're down a little bit, not terrible. We're down a little bit here as we go into the session. And just kind of taking a pause. I just wanted to I have BTC up here, so this is Bitcoin. You can see we drew in this channel from before. I left it in here, but look at this. Now we're using that as the support. So we'll see if we pull back here to this before another move on up. Yesterday, really big move. So kind of digesting all of that in here. I think that is a good thing. You don't want it to go straight up. You want it to take a break and then start over. ES. So this is the futures. You can see here we're right inside yesterday's candle. We're just back at the 3. Totally we are in a good spot. We came so close. That high being at 45, 49, 50. And yesterday we hit a high of 45, 32, 25. So we were very close to hitting all-time highs there. So again, taking a little bit of a break, not a bad thing. We have moved up here over the last several sessions on some lighter volume. So, and that's not uncommon, again, as we're trying to make some new highs. We have tons of earnings out, right? And we had Tesla last night, and although they did really well, what happened? Well, of course, they go down because that's what seems to happen. Yesterday, we came in talking about Netflix, and I said, be sure to take a look and here, I'm going to put this up here. This is what we have going on. Be sure to watch for an early reversal. We did have it. It gave it all back, but we had a really good reversal. Some of you captured that Netflix reversal. I would probably look for the same thing here on Tesla. Just as a day trade, not as a hold, but just on a day trade. I also saw that it had some price target increases today. So from like 900 to 1,000. Thanks for those of you who share those with me. And also, they come in. We post this trade exchange every morning in our market news channel, and it gives you, it's just a great wealth of information. I post the link so you can go in and look what you want at it. It gives you all of the calendars, all the pre-market data, all of the news, insider purchases, what's moving early, upgrades, downgrades, initiate. It gives a ton of really good information. So I really encourage you to go in and take a look at that. And it's a service I pay for, and we share here in the room along with Benzinga. Okay, so anyway, here we are, ES doing just fine. Yesterday, I did take a walk I got out of crowd, and then I took a walk here into AMD. AMD coming into it's still sitting in this, it's kind of a quiet spot. We moved up, put in just a pause candle yesterday, put in another pause candle this morning. We're actually sitting still at this 116. So just kind of hanging out here. I will not hold it through earnings. We have a couple days. That'll be next week will be earnings. I will not hold it through that, but I am comfortable holding it here as long as we don't give up. Now, yesterday's low. Yesterday, it had to hold the previous day low. So today, it now has to hold yesterday's low. Okay, so that's AMD. Real quick, let's take a look, like as we talked about. Tesla actually gave us kind of like a whole undecided signal this morning. Like I said, watch for a reversal in this. Play an opening range break, whichever way it goes, play it that way. Again, I would just stick with a day trade on that. And Netflix, actually, I'm looking for this to come in and kind of maybe do a little bit what it did yesterday. It's really weird. It's kind of still just sitting. Yesterday we drew this box around it, and this is a pretty good look here. We're still hanging in this box area. Even this morning we're still hanging. Actually we're right inside this little itty bitty body. So I think there's something here, and Netflix kind of cooking up. I'm going to keep an eye on this here as well. And now that we're a day or so out from earnings, I will consider it for a swing trade. Some others that actually don't have good options, but I wanted to put them out here. We looked at these yesterday right before the close, or in that last hour, kind of ran through some scans. I like Ball for a move over the 50. Earnings coming up. It did not have good options yet, but I'll take a look at that later. Garmin was another one that popped up on that list. Nice move. It's up above the 34, has room to the 50, and hanging out there just above that Fibonacci line. So I like that. CSX did have earnings. And did really well here. So potentially a day trade in CSX. Watch for the pullback. BITO, this is the new Bitcoin strategy, and I can't believe it. They already have options out on this. So I was a little surprised by that. They have options out on this, so something to watch. Now it is coming right back in. It is sitting down here at the open price back here from Tuesday. But watch this. They actually built up quite a bit of volume yesterday in BITO. So now we have something new to play for Bitcoin to go along with like Mara and Coin. I particularly like Coin. So we'll keep an eye on all of those. I also want to mention PayPal. PayPal looking to buy Pinterest. And I think they mentioned $75 a share. So typically what happens, the buying company or the one with the interest putting the money out does dip, and it sure did. It took a pretty good dip, and it's actually a little bit red here this morning. I would watch for a reversal off of this here now as that kind of starts to soak in and get digested. Pins took the pop. It is down just a little bit here this morning, but I would watch this one as well. Keep in mind that it does have that 75 target. I didn't set them up in options, but there's plenty of them. Watch for the opening range break. LC had a lot of interest yesterday. It was kind of funny. Kept getting mentions on Benzinga and in option sweep, so keep an eye on that one. And then all of the China stocks. Still working on some nice comebacks here, so keep an eye on those. Okay, so for some other ones that I actually set up, we saw CI Cigna yesterday. This one, I actually like these out into January. December options aren't really playing out quite yet. There's a lot in November, but not a lot in December. So pushing out to January, I like CI. Now it does have earnings coming up, so if you wanted to play those Novembers, I would look at the 220s regardless. STNE caught a little action yesterday, a little volume. Really like this. We looked at it right before the close. Over the 34, room to the 50. I really like this one. STNE, I like the 40s in that one. Nike looks like it might be trying to do a thing and get back up here over the 50. So look, and this has to move over the 50 for an entry for me. I like the look in Nike. It's getting a nice tight little action. Looks like a real tiny wedge started there. So looking at the 12, 17, 160s. A lot of these energy plays continuing to do well. Devon Energy came in, nice bullish candle yesterday, starting to build up volume. We have earnings coming up in this one as well. I like the 42 strike. TTWO popped up on that list yesterday. Came up there, almost tapped that 200, looking for a move through that 175.30. And I like the 175s in TTWO. This one popped up this morning. Crocs. Yep, got schnooked yesterday. Look at that. Today, it is coming right back up. Post earnings play. Anything over the 50. Day trade only, but I like it. It does have a lot of open interest sitting in it, so watch, because they might just sell it all off, but it's looking pretty good here this morning. 150 are the ones I would take a look at. Along with electric vehicles, check out some of these American automakers. They've definitely, GM really does lead in like autonomous driving. They have one of the best, we don't really hear about it a lot, but they have one of the best autonomous driving systems, and they really are making that pivot into electric vehicles behind, the Chinese and Tesla, yeah, but they're working hard to catch up and actually trying to, making a pretty decent move here. We've seen this up, pause, bullish candle yesterday. Look at that, ate up a couple days price action. And I like GM 5750 going into these earnings. Would not hold through the earnings. Ford the same way. Look at that. Use that fib line, pushed up really nicely, high at 1645. Either equity or the 16s there both look really good. And finally, ASAN came right back. We put in a nice little insight. I wish I had seen this. I did see it. I just didn't pay enough attention to it there before the close. Would have grabbed some of this maybe before the close. Love this look. We drew this line in the other day, and look at that. Popped right up off of it very nicely here. Like the look in ASAN off of an opening range break or anything over yesterday's close, looking at the 120s. Okay, that is it for me this morning. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be here all day. Heather C, GivingTreeTrading.com.